The events of September 11th, 2001 are forever imprinted on my soul. My elder brother, a very young boy at that time, a dedicated IT professional, was in the United States during that tragic time. And we, his siblings and our parents back home, were engulfed in a wave of fear and uncertainty, not even knowing which building his office was in. In those days, he and his flatmate both relied on recharging their calling cards to stay connected with us, their families back home. I vividly remember us young siblings and our mom huddled in front of the TV, which back then had far fewer channels, each one broadcasting the same horrifying images. While our dad was desperately trying to reach my brother's landline, dialing over and over, each attempt more frantic than the last. Every second felt like eternity. The silence between the telephone rings was deafening, and our hearts pounded with each failed attempt. And the TV blared the horrifying footage of the Twin Tower attacks on a relentless loop, amplifying our dread and helplessness. Finally, my brother called back. His voice was shaky, but he assured us that he and his friend were safe and that their office was in another building. Finally, the relief washed over us like a wave, and finally we could breathe again. And this playlist is dedicated to the memory of those families whose child or parent or sibling or grandchild or aunt or uncle or grandparent or partner or spouse or that sweet crush of yours never had the chance to call back and tell you they were safe.
We are extremely pleased that you are here. It is good to come together for the purpose of co-creating. Do you agree? You're knowing what you're wanting? More clearly than usual? You are appreciating the contrast of your time and place? Harder to gleefully answer yes to that than usual, isn't it? Because for some time, as we say, are you appreciating the contrast of your time and place? And you individually look to the details of your life experience. Some of you are softly saying, no, not really, Abraham, but I get the idea of what you mean. And some of you are loudly saying, no, Abraham, I am not appreciating the contrast of my time and place. And there is a sort of collective no that is resounding from this physical time-space reality at this time, because physical humans, while without exception you want to feel good, and without exception you want to connect with source energy, still, even those of you who have for some time been practicing the science of deliberate creation and other bodies of work like it, still, most of you have strong, knee-jerk, vibrational responses to what you see happening around you. It is natural. Some of you have been listening to us for some time. And you know that the contrast that prevails and has always prevailed and will always prevail. In other words, contrast is not going to go away, because there will always be those who are ideologically different. So as you remember that in every moment of contrast, there is a stimulation of powerful desire within human consciousness. And that desire shoots out like rockets, vibrational rockets. And that every desire that is emitted is answered. So there is a case to be made, and we intend to make it today, for the profound surge in request that is being made at this time. And knowing what we know about how those requests are always answered, we are here to say to you that you are the fortunate creators on the leading edge of thought who today have access to the strongest surge of answering source energy that we have ever witnessed in your time-space reality. There has never been globally more request. And since every request is being answered, these are good times, friends. Now, as you stand still in the shadow of your rubble, it's hard for you to be among those who allow that powerful surge of creative energy. Although it is our expectation that you will find your balance soon and you will begin allowing. We noticed that the beasts of your planet are in the state of allowing anyway. We noticed that the predominant vibration of your planet is staggeringly allowing the well-being that is profoundly asked and answered. Now, are you getting what we mean about that? Are you understanding that when you ask, without exception, it is always answered? And that the asking that we're talking about is not necessarily, it can be, but it is not necessarily the words that you formulate with your mouth. It is the desire that comes forth from within you. And have you heard us say before, if not, hear it now, that the majority of desire that is ever requested by anyone, whether it is a physical human or a cell in one of your bodies, any particle of consciousness, the majority of asking takes place from a strong imbalance, usually upheaval of contrast. And so, what we are wanting to say to you as we are beginning here, we're eager to talk with you about anything you want to talk about here today. Nothing out of the ordinary has happened in terms of planetary well-being, in terms of the laws of the universe. What has certainly happened to you, we can feel it profoundly from the vibrations that you are emitting even here in this small space, is a more pointed than ever desire. Desire for your own well-being, desire for the well-being of others, desire to continue to live happily ever after, the desire to reclaim the balance of your experience, desire to return to your natural state of well-being, desire for understanding, perhaps. There are all kinds of desires that are coming forth from within you. The basis that we want to begin with is that sometimes in the aftermath of some worldwide event where millions upon millions upon millions are setting forth desires, questions, we want to help you to realize that even when there is a singular event that has you all similarly, singularly focused, it is not different than every day as you are moving through your day-to-day experiences, setting forth requests. In fact, we want so much for you to hear that the only difference in a time like this is that more disallow the answer than under normal circumstances. More disallow the well-being that is predominant in this time-space reality than usual. And therefore, more experience more negative emotion than usual. In terms of your personal well-being, nothing has changed, except for a while, you may not let it in as actively as you have been. We are eager to talk with you about anything that is important. There is a slim possibility that there may even be personal issues that you want to discuss. There is no order of business here, meaning there is nothing that is off limits or inappropriate. It is our desire to assist you in reclaiming your connection to who you really are and reestablishing that bright twinkle that comes forth from within you on most days, and to assist you in understanding that all really is well, while there are many who would argue to the contrary of that. Certainly beneficial to take broader view in a situation like this, and we know we have that advantage over you. Our view is broader, and our knowledge of well-being is powerful. So we stand in a place of utter well-being, ready and willing to inspire you to same if you choose it.